Old goofballs are always going to tell you that you should cherish the moment you gets out of high school, because when you gets out of it, you'll be wishing you were back in the classroom. Now I'm pretty sure that that's 100% bullshit for the most part, but as for the story I'm about to tell you today, I'm sure it'll be with me for a fair bit. It's a story of love, betrayal, revenge, and alcohol. It's Dodgeball, baby, so let's get right into the prologue. To start off, remember that I'm from a half shit area of town, but even despite all that, I grew up around people who were going to be with me till I dies, whether I likes it or not. But all jokes aside, we're a tight little group of boys, together through it all. So anyways, our school was having a dodgeball tournament, and we all decided to get a team on the go. The first issue that came out of this though was the fact that half of us are the cheapest cunts on the planet and didn't want to pay the student council $2 per player. I was one of those people obviously, never tipped in me life. We eventually somehow managed to cough up the money though, and after wasting $15 on a shitty white t-shirt from Walmart, I handed it off to me buddy to get me uniform all sexy looking, right? I'm a YouTuber, not an artist. A few hours later, buddy comes back to me with me uniform, and holy jumpins boys, I don't know which one of them came up with the idea, but aside from the beautiful number 69 placed prominently on the back of the jersey, some maniac decided to name me the team captain. Now I might just be a negative arsehole, but I don't think I deserve to be team captain, ma. Sure, I'm not athletic, and I'm a washed up basketball player whose glory days were in the 7th grade, but if that's what the team wanted, by Jesus, that's what they were gonna get. I wish I could name the team without getting in shit with the school, but for now I'll have to come up with a bullshit name for the team. From this point on, our team name was the Penetrators. Go fuck yourselves. It's a lot more clever than some of the other names we played with. Have some creativity, boys. Jesus. So with our jerseys made and our entry fees paid, all that was left for were some games to be played. Holy fuck, I should be a rapper, man. But anyways, day one, here we come. I'm gonna be honest with you, day one was a wash. We played against a shitty girls team and wiped the floor with them. Business as usual if you've ever played in one of these tournaments. But like, I forgets how many pylons I took out, but we won the game in like 3 minutes, so it don't matter anyways. After the game, the boys wanted me to give a quick old captain speech. So we went off to the locker room and I started screaming me fucking head off, talking about how deadly we played and that whatever poor team had to play us next was in for the shit kicking of their lives. I'll guarantee you that most people in that gym heard us too. So when we walked out, we had a good 100 eyeballs looking at us like we were fucking serial killers. It was pretty deadly if I'm being honest. But everything up to this point is the sweet shit. Good clean fun if you will. It wasn't going to be like this the whole tournament though, and we were going to find that out on day 2. In typical high school fashion, I woke up to a load of boys in the team group chat flipping their shit over some stupid drama. One of the boys on the student council apparently wanted us disqualified over having too many players, which didn't make a whole lot of sense. Originally, it was supposed to be 11 on 11 I think, but both teams went over that limit. So if you really wanted to do a double DQ, I suppose you could have, but it would have been pretty shitty. I didn't believe we were actually disqualified though. So instead of shit talking buddy, I just asked one of his friends if we actually got the boot. Few minutes later, and the drama was over. We weren't out, and we were about to play the best fucking dodgeball game I think I ever took part in. I'm gonna be honest, the game we played on day 2 could've went either way, and some might have called it a fluke that we were able to pull it off, but I don't give a shit, bah. So it started with me getting one goofball out, only to get a ball rocketed at me neck not long after. I wasn't a pussy though, so instead of taking the cheap headshot and getting myself back in the game, I sat on the bench like a man. I knew I could make getting hit like a bitch sound dignified. Look at me. A few minutes later, and it was down to 4-on-1 for the other team. 1 minute left on the clock. I got no clue what drugs me buddy was on. Probably a lot because I knows where he's from. But it all must have kicked in around this point. Buddy starts throwing balls at him like they were fucking Cotton Club regulars. And with 10 seconds left on the clock, it was down to 2-on-1. Not a word of a lie. With 5 seconds left, our buddy throws the ball at one of the tall fellas. And with 1/10 of a second left, it hits him on the shoe, and we all goes fucking retarded. Against all the odds, we brought the game into a 5-on-5 overtime. In all fairness, it was probably a fluke, but like I said, who gives a shit? The whole place went up, and who doesn't love a bit of overtime? So during overtime, it starts getting right heated. Boys are cursing their heads off, including me. The refs are shitting the bed as usual, and after a minute passes, the tables are turned. 3-on-1, our side. A few balls are thrown, and we hit Spuddy on the shoulder, I think. Anyways, with the game over, we all sprints into the locker room and I delivers another goddamn throat burner to a crowd of testosterone dripping teammates mixed in with rotted players from the other team. It was fucking insane, and we all had a deadly time, even the losers. I don't say anyone was pissed off that day. In saying that, despite what a crowd might think, none of us are out to beat the shit out of each other. We're all just super fucking competitive. I might chirp you up to the moon and back all the way up to Cornerbrook, but I'll buy you a beer post game if you bums me enough first. Not a bit of beef in that dressing room, aside from our meat. No, that's gay. I'm not cutting it out, I don't care. But the group chat? Holy Jesus, whole different fucking ball game that was. I don't know if the student council buddy had a hard on for us or we had a hard on for him. But after the game, buddy apparently said that we didn't deserve to win the game. Now I heard and seen this shit all the fucking time in school drama. Thousands of times before actually. So I chalked it up to either being bullshit that someone made up to start drama or petty garbage that didn't matter. Either way, I told the boys to ignore it and move on to the next game. It was day 3 and we were all pumped up and ready to go. No matter what bullshit came up on the side, we were ready to have another great dodgeball game. We never fucking played today. Big letdown, I know. But day 3 wasn't all smoke and mirrors. I showed up and watched the other games, and I noticed 2 different things. First off, the reffing. Oh my fuck, the reffing. I'm not trying to be a dick to anyone, but it was pretty fucking rotten. Boys jumping back in the game when they were out long ago. Players getting called out when they were nowhere near a ball. Horrible shit like that. The second issue was the drama off the court. But I was using this to my advantage, so it wasn't all bad. One team that had a game this day shows up through the back door, and all of a sudden a bunch of missuses just start flipping out at this one buddy. Using worse language than even I'm willing to fucking say comfortably on this channel. Holy fuck, it was bad. I'm not even sure what the beef was about. But being the little shit disturber I am, I told Buddy that no matter what happened with his team, he was always welcome to join the Penetrators. I don't care if the crowd doesn't like him. I'm fine with being the bad guy if it gets us a championship.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy.
It sadly never worked, but I can guarantee you that in 10 years, our beer league dodgeball team is going to have this buddy on it. No doubt.
So say goodnight to the bad guy. Come on. The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.
Nothing else really happened on day 3, which makes sense considering the best team wasn't playing. Day 4, now me buddies, that's where shit gets good. Day 4 was the semi-finals, but it only goes downhill from there. When I wakes up, I notices that overnight, I was added to a group chat with a bunch of student council members. I scrolled through it, and besides the yelling, name calling, and all the other great shit that comes along with politics, I noticed that this tournament had the worst bracket system I've ever seen put down on a piece of paper. Oh my god, I'm out of breath even thinking about this shit. I don't even know how to describe it, but like basically both of the undefeated teams were going to play each other today. And whoever won would move on to the finals. The loser would move on to the losing bracket, and whoever won that game would move on to the finals and play the winner of the first game. Are you confused yet? Don't worry, so is every other fucking player in the tournament. One thing I will say though is God bless the student council, because Ali involved in that business got more patience than I could ever dream of mustering up. I wouldn't be able to deal with this shit 7 days a week. I don't give a shit how much good it does for me career. If I ran a student council, it'd be like fucking Hitler. So special shout out to Ali for keeping the school stable, I suppose. But you're driving me off your head with the fucking brackets, that gotta change. But anyways, we played the student council buddies team, and I got like 2 or 3 goofballs out, but once again Lady Luck decided to put a big old penis in me arse, and one shot to the testicles left me with a one-way ticket to the bench. My balls are always taking a beating by fucking Murphy. The game wasn't too bad, but it was nothing like the game we played before. We all played deadly, and we ended up winning the game in regular time. When we went to the locker room, I did my usual championship speech, and we were off to talk shit on our phones for the rest of the day. Gotta love being in high school, bah. Class time is always well spent. The final day of the dodgeball, and definitely the day where the craziest shit went down. I hears from the group chat that the championship game is gonna be a best 2 out of 3, but I wasn't even worried about that shit. I knew that the team we had could beat anybody if we put our heart to it, and that we were not going to lose 1 game in this tournament, let alone 2. If you took anything out of that confusing bracket bullshit from earlier, you'd know that the losers were playing first, and the winner of that game would play us. We all got together and watched the first game, and believe it or not, the team that lost the first game to these goofballs actually pulled away with the W. I was half ratted because I honestly wanted to play the other balls in the finals, but it's no big deal I guess. The championship game started, and I immediately rushes over to the centre of the court to push all the balls on our side. A genius strategy if I says so myself. I hit one buddy in the leg, but the ref's never seen it, so buddy just turns around and hits me in the chest, calling me out. Fuck's sake. It was bullshit, yes, but I didn't give much of a shit. It's high school and that fucking, I don't know, Confederation building. But they're all fucking goofballs anyway, so I don't know what I'm getting on with. I get fucking bored reading these scripts, but yeah, there was no point in getting DQ'd in the championship game. That'd be the shits. Somehow, someway, after all the shit we've been through in this shitty tournament, we managed it. The Penetrators pulled it off. And after a 2-game sweep, we were the Dodgeball champs. Yay! After the clock ran out, we all rushed into a big circle like it was the fucking zoo if I'm being legit. But it gets even better. I don't know who in the Jesus managed to do this, but some goofball picks me up and decides to carry me around the fucking gym with the whole team. The crowd went nuts, and as their team captain, I was still half hungover from the night before, so my emotions were 50-50, but deep down in my heart, I knew we finally fucking reached the top. Hard work pays off, boys. So once again, we all heads back into the locker room, and I jumps right up on that bench where I'd made me captain speeches all them days before. But this time, the other team was getting a little bit sucky. So when they were all calling us shitbags and losers and all that, I did what any sensible team captain would do in this situation. In front of all the boys, I drops me drawers and gives the other team a big ol' full fucking moon to be proud of. Me arse was that hairy I'd say half of them thought it was an eclipse. Me teammates go nuts, and after finishing up me speech, I heads out for me bag and tries to get the fuck out of there. But before I can get my shit and leave the building, some random missus on the student council hands me a fucking gold Dollarama trophy and tells me that I'm the MVP of the whole fucking tournament. I could not believe that a group of people could be that fucking mentally crazy that they'd vote me as their MVP. But I took the award with pride, me buddies. I went around with both of the trophies like a fucking maniac LeBron James, and after taking 50 or so of them team photos, I decided to call it a day. The championships were finished, and our story ends on a pretty fucking great note. A group of blue-collar, working-class nobodies took the world on, and the world bent the knee. And your man Leaf Carlo? Well, I suppose he's the MVP. So have a decent Christmas, boys, and always remember to follow your fucking dreams. If he does, I can promise you that there'll be a Dollarama trophy on top of your bar by next year. That's my guarantee. This has been Leaf Carlo, and I'll see you on the right side of the rock. Have a good one.